Yesterday, we gave you an update right here on this particular platform. Say, a section of Burkina Faso military personnel, they have been arrested at Ghana border. Now, the way these people are arrested, no, it is very, very tricky. According to them, no, omuye Burkina Faso soldiers, and for some reason they were doing patrol. Okay, but patrol no more, no. Before they realize this, they've lost their way. And omulusu omuwe no mepie Ghana a forest. Na mepie Ghana forest no and almost start almost set sandbag, almost set your tent near the ade ajeho so omudie. A one Ghana military a stormy wa ya arrest your mo. Now mind you, according to Ghana military, they've been tracking this because they've been hearing say certain bandwidth. ISIS for ni Boko Haram for no. They want to enter Ghana, so that particular place ayanum for ekobo jawo hono. Now HSA Hona intelligence neba said they want to go and set up and start there. Oh, you'll be follow Boko Haram or Niema Utumu say they really they kind of operate in bushes and also forests because hono and omutimi onu omo kwa, you know, they blend in there. It is very hard for you to actually fish them out. Into once they're able to establish a foothold in these strategic areas, these forests and things, no, it will be difficult for you to wipe them out. What man say? No problem. Now, same way, air course no, we want explanation. So they are soldiers near there. So what you are watching on the screen, no, ID card, as some of them even show said they are Burkina Faso soldiers and weapons, CZ and those screens so. But for some reason, no, and Chebia and information about say, Ghana commissioner together with the ambassador, Ghana's ambassador to Burkina Faso and vice versa, no, they have communicated and they've confirmed that these soldiers. No, indeed, no, Burkina Faso soldiers. But then yesterday, when we gave this update, there was no video. And then no can say, you know, a video of these Burkina Faso soldiers are in a video. You see, these soldiers apparently, you know, now almost here said they've lost and they lost their way, and because they lost their way, you know, nature said at the end of the day, you know, I was so PM has into a video babaka. Definitely, we have a year. More angles to this particular story, and then more people are talking because Minoka say people are questioning why we released them, and even in the first place, I didn't interrogate you more. Let's watch this video about Baka a bit to us. So what you just watch on the screen is the number of soldiers, okay? They all show on the screen is the number of soldiers on BPM Krum has seen. The Burkina Faso soldiers are Osha Omuni and yes scan your munina, ye check or temperature, or say for some reason no, they lost their way and they came to Ghana. And Burkina Faso said they will take all of them. Honestly, do they look like soldiers or do they look like bandwidth? I don't know. But what these are young guys among Phobisa say. Are these young guys in the military? Yes, you omo military, but regardless, Burkina Faso army said omo. So that is exactly what we are learning now. We wanted to definitely give you an update to this particular issue. Now more share no so okay in some no and I could do a say and the air core. So we are looking at all of these issues very closely, and at the end of the day, more updates as all of these various events continue to unfold. But then stepping on to our next one, as the issue of who leads the NDC. Me can say video be about Betuja at global info analytics once again seeing the kanka or more prediction how you do to a but then they've added a new person to this particular matchup. A new person did not match up in the hono mame Jenana Opoku Ajima. But then something really happens here because there's been a reaction. If some of the key players are more a party nimu about how mame Jenana Opoku Oba game in my so no see I can't pull no. All of a sudden she's beating everyone. Inti ekwa kutie in sema a course so any hawa when they put all of these things on the screen. See a nipa ODD how they do. And even what is more shocking, nipa na apparently na oye second. I just say second ni dia waje wafa see din kitia. But you see amenu ka see din kitia oblidi. I didn't think say ketia bleed. He said ketia a bleedy because me no kasi siya no nipa wababeji ni position. Harry Forcing, who is the current finance minister. So we are definitely looking at this from various angles. It's rather unfortunate say our audio now per se it is delaying, but then it is what it is. So therefore anybody indemnity near more update as we wait for this particular audio to kind of load send a bit to me at this particular update so that is the issue at echo. So whilst we are waiting for the audio, I think that we'll try and just get the voice, because the voice, perhaps we can get it. Now at the feedback and in sema echo in regards with this particular upcoming race, a race ababe between two major parties, and definitely you can't really do anything about it.
You have Haruna Drisu on 26%. Forcing on 23%.
Yes.
Asedun Pitia on 22%. Prophet Genano Poku 11%. Honorable Julius Debra 7%. Honorable Ablakwa 6%. Prophet Joshua Alabi 3%. Honorable Erikopoku 2%.
If anyone emerges outside of this group, would that be a surprise to you?
It will not happen.
How do you say this so emphatically?
Look, not everything that I do that I put out. We have a lot of data we don't put out there in public. We know what we are doing. Nobody will come outside this group to lead NDC.
But the numbers can change.
Will change.
And I want the numbers also change.
The numbers will change. The numbers will change.
Yes.
But the faces,
because
some may even completely
I'm disappointed with some of the numbers you put down there.
But then you go ahead to do this head-to-head.
Yes.
Of, the top 3 or 4 persons you pick from here.
Yeah.
That assuming it is Harun Idrisu against Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, if elections were held within that period they did this poll, which was in December last year, 2025, this would have been the outcome. Meaning that the goodwill that John Mahama is enjoying is rubbing off all these persons that you put out. 56% Harun Idrisu as against Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, 40%. Dr. Kasila Forcing 58% as against Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, 38% if elections were held in December. That's interesting.
Why the difference?
Why the difference?
Demography. When you put Haruna Idrisu against Dr. Bawumia, the accounts don't have their Haruna Idrisu on 26%. Forcing on 23%.
Yes.
Asedun Pitia on 22%. Prophet Genano Poku 11%. Honorable Julius Debra 7%. Honorable Ablakwa 6%. Prophet Joshua Alabi 3%. Honorable Erikopoku 2%.
If anyone emerges outside of this group, would that be a surprise to you?
It will not happen.
How do you say this so emphatically?
Look, not everything that I do that I put out. We have a lot of data we don't put out there in public. We know what we are doing. Nobody will come outside this group to lead NDC.
But the numbers can change.
Will change.
And I want the numbers also change.
The numbers will change. The numbers will change.
Yes.
But the faces,
because
some may even completely
I'm disappointed with some of the numbers you put down there.
But then you go ahead to do this head-to-head.
Yes.
Of, the top 3 or 4 persons you pick from here.
Yeah.
That assuming it is Harun Idrisu against Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, if elections were held within that period they did this poll, which was in December last year, 2025, this would have been the outcome. Meaning that the goodwill that John Mahama is enjoying is rubbing off all these persons that you put out. 56% Haruna Idrisu as against Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, 40%. Dr. Kasila Toforsin, 58% as against Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, 38% if elections were held in December. That's interesting.
Why the difference?
Why the difference?
Demography. When you put Haruna Idrisu against Dr. Bawumia, the accounts don't have their favorite. You see the accounts sitting on the fence. Some will not vote.
I see.
When you throw in Atuforsin, then they come out.
That's what led to the increase.
The changes you are seeing there.
And then you go to
Asedu Nketia. Yes. He is performing far worse than Atuforsin and Haruna Idrisu compared to against Bawumia. For that race, it is much tighter for NDC if it is Mosquito against Bawumia. 10 points here instead of maybe 12 or 13.
And then you do Julius Debra.
The same thing. He is on the same level as Mosquito, slightly. And this is against
Kennedy Ejapong.
Put him against Dr. Bawumia.
We'll come there. So against Kennedy, Debra is 53, and Kennedy is 51. You put Haruna Idrisu against Kennedy, Haruna goes 61%, and Kennedy goes to 34%. You know why?
Tell me.
In a race in the north where DMB is not a ticket, the entire northern bloc vote protest against MPP, and they go to Haruna Idrisu.
I see. Protest vote.
The entire northern sector, northern votes.
Because Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia's footprints in the northern Ghana is not without the.
Yes.
Then you see
here the same effect, but then the accounts again come out a lot more when it is Atu than when it is Haruna Idrisu in the southern part. But they retain the northern sector because Bawumia again is not in the ticket. On the ticket. When you put Asedu Nketia, he goes up compared to Bawumia. But then Kennedy also does worse compared to Bawumia against Mosquito. You have Haruna Idrisu on 26%.